Welcome to this week's installment in our Football Officials video training series. We're studying the National Federation of High School Rules and five-man mechanics. Technical advisors are Greg Downham, Dax Hill, and George Demetrio. Video technical assistance provided by Jim Woods and Sam Porter. I'm your host, Todd Allen, the Executive Director of the Arkansas Association of High School Officials. Visit our website at AAHSO.com. We're helping good officials get better. We talked about this in a camp that we had here this past summer, and some of the referees had never heard this, and we did it in the referee breakout group, so I thought I would share it with you guys tonight. And this is the phases of kickoff, and this is just a free kick mechanic, and you see we got the line judge at the bottom of the screen, the back judge at the top of the screen. What we're going to do is decide who looks at who, and put these players in a box here. Still trying to figure out this telestrator. I don't like this box, so let me delete that. Let's just go with numbers. We're starting with the line judge here at the bottom, and he's going to look at players 1, 2, and 3 on this kickoff. These are his keys for the free kick. And now down the field, we have the umpire, and he's down about the 30-yard line, and he's going to be looking up, and we're going to give him player 4 and the kicker player 5. Now, these are his keys in this first phase. The back judge will give him player 6, 7, and 8. These three players right here in the middle of the field will belong to the back judge. And then the head linesman down about the 30-yard line here will get 9, 10, and 11. I guess we have the umpire at the 20 and the head linesman at about the 30-yard line. The referee is near the goal line, and the referee's looking, of course, up the field. 4 members of the kicking team on each side of the kicker. So this is what we call Phase 1, the first phase after the ball is kicked. These are who you need to be looking at. Now, everyone on the field, except for the referee, has players they're looking at. Now, as this play develops, we notice that one player here backed out of the formation and kind of went to a safety. So we'll transfer this player to the back judge, but he's not going to really be doing anything. So he's going to fall into the responsibility of the back judge. And we'll just move this play on. Now we reach here. We can kind of see where everybody is. These first 3 players we called 1, 2, and 3, are all right here grouped together. Here's 4 and 5. And these first 3 players we know belong to the line judge. So he's still got his eye on them. We're still in phase 1. Of course, the umpire here has got a good look here at 4 and 5. And then we'll go with 6 and 7 and 11. Back up the field here belong to the back judge. And then 8, like I said, these are the back judges. And then let's look here for the head linesman. Give him 8, 9, and 10. Just kind of an update as we're still into phase 1. Who's looking at who? We'll circle these players here that the head linesman's looking at. So far, still pretty easy to officiate this play, but I want to remind you, do not officiate air. The head linesman does not need to be looking up at these players just running. There's no need to officiate air. There's nothing can happen to them. He needs to have one eye here and one eye here, looking in this area where we have the potential for low blocks. We have the potential from either side blocking below the waist, which would be a foul. We know that. So don't get caught just officiating air. All right, now we're into phase 2. At this moment, we have our first contact between the 2 teams. And so we kind of need to go into phase 2 officiating here. So now, who's looking at who in phase 2? Well, he's going to take, obviously, one eye on the ball carrier. The second eye going to be on the block closest to him, the first initial contact down the field. So he's going to be looking right in here. You see this block is made right at time. Now, over here, the umpire, he's going to take the deepest block on his side, which is right here. These 2 players right here, head up. Like I said, head linesman has this player. Now, the line judge is looking in right here in the middle, and he's going to be watching this player. The referee officiating through the ball carrier right into the middle of the field. So we have all these potential blocks here in this phase are all taken care of. Everyone's watching everyone and at potential threats. So we've got this play at where the threats are pretty well covered here in phase 2. Our final phase is phase 3, and this is basically just a running play, like I said. So let's pick up the ball carrier and get everybody involved in the run here. Obviously, we know the wings are just officiating the point of attack. The block's out ahead of the runner. Referee is taking the block immediately ahead of the runner. And the wings here in this play are the head linesman and the umpire. Here's the ball carrier. We've got this block covered, we've got this block covered, and we've got this block covered with the simple running play blocks. Here's a potential threat right here that the line judge can be looking at because he's down the field. This is just a running play. Now let's go into a little bit of a problem that we have here with how the play ends. Line judge, you don't want to lose your cushion and stop. Remember now, we're boxing this play in. The umpire should be coming up, but all of this action that we're seeing should be done on the sideline. Off the field of play, you probably didn't even realize that you were drifting out there. So we would want you to keep going down the field, and we want the umpire, instead of sliding in like this shaving into the middle, what we want the umpire to do is mirror the head linesman coming up the sideline, a 90-degree turn, killing the clock at the dead ball spot. Now the clock is a very, very important aspect. Now we know on all kick plays that at the end of the down, the clock is going to stop. So who is stopping the clock as this play ends? All 5 officials have the responsibility for the clock. 1, 2, 3, and 4. That's all that's in the frame here. And the referee, of course, is down the field. All 5 of us have the responsibility for stopping the clock. So let's move this play forward here a little bit real quick and just look. No signal to stop the clock, no signal to stop the clock, no signal to stop the clock, and no signal to stop the clock. Well, we don't see the referee yet. Let's run this a little bit forward, a little bit faster, and see what the referee does as he comes into the frame here. Don't see him yet. Sneak up a few more frames here. And now we see the referee is just running up the field here. No indication stopping the clock. No indication here, 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 or here. Like I said, this is 101, the fundamentals, clock mechanics. All 5 of us need to be involved and always do a great job emphasizing our signals for stopping the clock. Next play I want you to take a look at here. This one involves the left tackle. And this player right here, number 52, I believe, and he's going to go head up on this defensive player right here. We've got just a drop back pass out into the flat. But once you look at the action here on this tackle, as the defender gets around him, shoves him to the inside, swings to the outside, the offensive player here has got a hand on the outside. Look, the feet are beat. Defender's clearly by him. Quarterback right here. He's on path. Take the quarterback out of the pocket. And as you see his shoulders turn, you see that crazy action on his shoulders right here. Remember, we talked about when you're watching potential blocks and while you're watching for holding, what you want to focus on first is the feet. If the feet are beat, watch to cheat. And clearly this defender bull rushes past the offensive tackle and gets by him. His feet are beat, his hands are to the outside, and the first thing we look at, feet, and then his technique, and then is this at the point of attack, and does it have an effect on the play? Point of attack / effect on the play. And all of these elements are present here. The feet are beat, his technique's poor with his hands to the outside, the shoulders, the defender gives us a very, very unnatural looking rollover. And nobody is going to chase the offensive quarterback like this. No defender is going to run. This is not a natural movement of running. The reason that he's running like this is because he's getting twisted to the inside by that outside technique. He's being materially restricted at the point of attack. Now, if this defender doesn't have this left hand on his right shoulder right here, he's going to blow right by him and be in the face of this quarterback, and this quarterback's going down in the pocket. Now, you see at the very end there, he does overpower him and take him to the ground, but the reason he does that is because the defender's feet have been twisted up as he's been rotated to the inside, and he just stumbles and falls backwards. This is correctly called as offensive holding by the line judge on this play. Good job of focusing, because you do have keys coming down the field. We notice trips on the head linesman's side, so the back judge is working the head linesman's side of the field, but there's just no one out here. You see the receiver is out in space. There's no one to officiate out there, so the line judge does an excellent job of staying with the tackle here, which is actually the referee's key. Comes back to him, though, and sees this poor technique, this defender flailing, and an offensive hold at the point of attack, correctly called, offensive holding. This call is made by the line judge. And good job of staying with your keys and focusing and picking up this offensive hold. Boy, lots to talk about and look at in this play. And this is just going to be a little misdirection. They bring everybody towards us and then dump off to the slot back here on the opposite side of the field. And he runs up the field. And I want you to look here at the bottom of the screen at the line judge. Great job of holding the line of scrimmage till the ball gets in the air. And then good coverage down the field. Good movement getting your head. But what I want you to watch his head and see where he's looking. These are one of the things, this is little stuff that we're looking at when we watch this play from an evaluation standpoint. Now you see he's looking toward the inside now, but watch him as the play develops down the field. Here's the misdirection. They run the slot receiver over the middle, and then they just dump it to him. And you see he waits to get the ball, gets in the air, and then movement. He moves very, very well up the field, but just watch his head. Now look, he's looking straight down the sideline. All the action is in the middle of the field, and look where his head is turned. So that just tells me that he's not officiating. He's actually running it, maybe because the sidelines are not clean. He's having to watch out to make sure he doesn't run over everybody. But where I need his head is up here and up here, and looking for potential threats up the field. Now you see he turns there just a little bit, turns again, but what we want to see is his head to the inside all the time. And this may just be like I said, one of those cases where we've got to clean up our sideline. This is the threat right here. This is where his attention needs to be focused, because this player is suspect. We've got one offensive player out here in front, two defenders behind him, and now the ball carrier coming right to him. This guy's out of the play. No need to look at him now. And then as far as cleaning up the play, basically we've got the play boxed in, everything up ahead. And we're going to leave this action to the referee and the umpire. Everybody back here is going to be the responsibility of the cleanup crew. That's the referee and umpire. So the line judge, the head linesman, and the back judge got this play boxed in. Then we see there a little bit of contact, and then we see the line judge actually throws a flag for what he thinks is a block in the back. But is it a block in the back, and do we have an opinion? If you get to it late, it looks like there is some block in the back, but is this offensive player in chase mode? Let's look. Is he out ahead of or behind the potential defender? Look at their feet. The defender's here. The offensive player is here. So he's out ahead of him. Now the defender is rotating because he's chasing the play. Let's get a look at it now from the end zone. And I think we'll get a little better look at it here. All right, we get this end zone shot here. And I want you to pay attention, too, to this head on this back judge compared to what we saw from the line judge. And both of them move very, very well. So I'm not picking on the line judge, just giving you those little things that can help you pick up the action that you need to pick up. Now, watch the back judge moving up the field. Now, look where his head is. Look at his head. Right here, he's focused right out here in front at this action in his zone as we got this play boxed in. I want you to keep your eye on his head as we move up the field. He's looking in this area up here. Now remember, I said we got this play boxed in, and we've got the potential threat right here in front of the back judge, and we've got the line judge looking ahead at the ball carrier. So basically, who are we looking at here? The line judge is, we've eliminated this player here, so the line judge has this part of the play boxed in. He's looking out ahead at this action also. So we've got our box. We can just draw it here to the back judge to here. And this is how we have the play boxed in. And it's boxed in very, very well. So now let's take a look again and try to decide about chase mode. As we see, there's a little bit of contact. And did you keep your head on the back, Judge? Did I distract you? As you see, he's still focused. He runs up the field the whole time his head is turned. He never looks ahead of him to find the goal line or to see if he's going to run over anything. He just continues to officiate right at the point of attack. That's a very, very good job. Now let's look at this potential for chase mode. You see now here the offensive player here, the defender is here. Is he in chase mode? That's the question that we're going to ask, because we know if he's not in chase mode, we're going to give him a lot more latitude, right? Any contact on the side would make this no foul, so he is not in chase mode. So we're going to have to see something clearly, both hands in the back. Now the defender does begin to rotate here as he's closing in on the ball carrier. But again, the offensive player is out ahead. The defender turns to make a play, and we give him a little nudge right there and actually take him into the ball carrier and out of bounds. This is not a block in the back. You can see, by the way, the whole thing, the defender turns, and it's just two hands. There's not much contact. You see that the body mechanics of the defender, he's already lunging for the ball carrier, and we've got good angles here to see this. And the main point that I want to make about this play is, back judge, you should know that this player is not in chase mode. And when you see this flag come out late, right where that potential block in the back occurred, then you should have a strong opinion. This is your key. You have to be confident and assertive enough to go to the head linesman and say, what did you call? What's your call? And he's going to tell you that he has a block in the back, and you have to be able to articulate. He did not come from chase mode. There was some contact. There may have even been some contact in the back, but most of the contact was in the side. It was very little contact, had no effect on the play, was not in the back. There's a lot of things there, a lot of elements that are telling us to stay away from this call, and I just don't know if we talked about it, and if we were being assertive enough to take the head linesman off of this. He had a bad angle, and he obviously didn't see that the offensive player was not coming from chase mode. So, pretty good play to look at. Also to talk about in your pregame, how you're going to work together, get multiple angles, keep plays boxed in. They did a great job of that, but we just missed one little element that talked us into getting a foul that wasn't there. So, because we didn't have a player in chase mode. That is it for week one. Appreciate you checking out the video. And also, I want to tell you how proud I was with our effort in week one. We had some things that we didn't get right, but everyone seemed to be working hard and hopefully paying attention. The thing that I do want to admonish you about, especially when we're talking about pass interference, there's 7 categories of pass interference, and you need to be able to put all of your fouls for pass interference into one of those categories. If for some reason you're unable to put it in the category, it's probably because it wasn't a foul. And that was the case that we saw this week with a couple of pass interference calls that we made, and we were incorrect. So, work on that. If you're not familiar with those, check out the Philosophy tab on the homepage of the AAHSO.com website. It lists those 7 categories of pass interference, and it's important that you make yourself familiar with those and be able to put all of your fouls for pass interference in one of those categories. Looks like we're going to get a break from the weather this week, although we may have some rain on Friday night. If you have any concerns or questions about the weather, don't hesitate to give us a call on the command center. That phone number is on the website, so you can check that out. Anything else, here's my email address, toddallen65@mac.com. Happy to answer any of your questions, or if you have some suggestions, things you'd like to see on the training video, don't hesitate to drop me an email and let me know. Again, thanks for checking out the video, and until next week, have a great week.